Hello, dear friends. I'm Professor M. Masoom Raza from Department of Library Information Science, AMU Aligarh. We had been discussing human resource management in the previous lectures. I told you about the definition, function, objectives, job analysis, job description, which included a specification, job enlargement, job enrichment, job rotation, and today we will be discussing job evaluation. This is again one more important facet of your human resource management. So, we will cover the whole content of this job evaluation under these heads. I'll just introduce the topic, give you the objectives, then significance, advantages, and then we'll speak about the steps and then methods. Just for the introduction, what do you understand by job evaluation and what basically it is doing, how it is helping our institutions and organizations? So, for that, I'll just elaborate a little about the job evaluation. Job evaluation serves as a fundamental pillar in the realm of human resource management, providing operations with a structural approach to determining the relative value of different roles within their workforce. In today's dynamic and competitive business environment, where attracting and retaining top talent is paramount, the need for fair and equitable compensation practices have never been more pronounced. Job evaluation emerges as a crucial tool in addressing this need, offering a systematic methodology for assessing the inherent worth of each job based on objective criteria. Job evaluation involves a comprehensive analysis. Job evaluation involves a comprehensive analysis of various factors that contribute to the complexity, significance, and demands of each role within the organization. These factors encompass a wide range of considerations, including the level of skill and expertise required, the degree of responsibility entrusted to the job holder, the nature of the tasks performed, their working condition, and the impact of the role on organizational objectives. By meticulously evaluating these facets, organizations can gain valuable insight into the relative contribution of different jobs to the overall success and effectiveness of the enterprise. One of the primary objectives of job evaluation is to establish internal equity and consistency in compensation practices. By systematically assessing and comparing the value of different jobs, organizations can ensure that similar roles are remunerated fairly and equitably, irrespective of individual preferences or biases. This not only fosters a sense of fairness and transparency among employees, but also minimizes the risk of internal disparity and grievances, thereby promoting a harmonious and productive work environment. Moreover, job evaluation serves as a vital tool for supporting organizational decision making processes related to talent management, career development, and resource allocation. By providing an objective basis for determining pay levels, promotions, and job classifications, job evaluation enables organization to make informed and strategic decisions that are aligned with their business objectives and long-term sustainability. Additionally, job evaluation facilitates effective performance management by establishing clear expectations and benchmarks for employee roles, thereby enhancing accountability, motivation, and engagement across the workforce. Then we'll see the objectives of job evaluation. The objectives can be discussed under these heads, and this has been outlined just to highlight the essential purposes and benefits of implementing a systematic approach to assessing and valuing different jobs within an organization. And let's see how it is doing it. The first area is complete, accurate, and impersonal job description. Job evaluation seeks to maintain detailed and unbiased descriptions of each job, ensuring a comprehensive understanding of the roles and responsibilities associated with every position in the organization. Next important thing is a standard procedure for determining relative worth. By establishing a standard procedure, job evaluation provides a systematic and consistent method for determining the relative worth or value of each job within the organization, facilitating fair comparison. Next, more important objective is fair and equitable rate of pay. The primary goal is to determine a rate of pay for each job that is fair and equitable concerning other jobs within the organization, the local community, and the broader industry. Next, more important objective again, consistent pay for similar work. Ensuring that like wages are paid for similar work promotes fairness and consistency within the organization, reducing the likelihood of disparities in compensation, reducing the likelihood of disparities in compensation for jobs requiring comparable risk and responsibilities. Next objective again is fair consideration for advancement and transfer. Job evaluation contributes to fair and accurate assessments of employees for advancement and transfer opportunities. It helps in identifying individuals for the skills and qualifications needed for different roles within the organization. Next objective is comparison of wage rates internally and externally. Job evaluation provides a factual basis for comparing wages not only within the organization but also externally, helping ensure competitiveness in the job market. Next objective is information for work organization and employee management. Job evaluation serves as a valuable source of information for various organizational purposes, including work organization, employee selection, training, and other crucial aspects of human resource management. Next objective is basis for a sound wage structure. The overarching objective is to establish a sound wage structure that reflects the relative value of different jobs within the organization. Job evaluation is a foundation for building a fair and transparent compensation system. Basically, the essence is job evaluation system contribute to achieving internal equity, aligning pay structures with the value of individual jobs, and supporting overall organizational objectives related to workforce management, motivation, and fairness. And now we'll discuss the significance of job evaluation, and you can see the significance, the comprehensive consideration of factors, harmony between union and management, standardization of wage determination, then equality in payment of wages, and then last we'll discuss the cost minimization in recruitment. So as I told you, job evaluation is a very crucial tool for maintaining wage rate consistency and fostering positive industrial relations. So this is very significant and can be understood based on the points. Number one, comprehensive consideration of factors. Job evaluation takes into account various factors relevant to determining wages and salaries, such as skill level, responsibilities, market conditions. By considering all these factors, organizations can ensure that compensation decisions are fair, objective, and based on value of the job to the organization. Next, harmony between union and management. Job evaluation helps in maintaining harmony between labor unions and management by providing a transparent and systematic method for determining wages. When both parties have confidence in the fairness and consistency of the evaluation process. It can reduce conflicts and improve industrial relations. Next important significance is standardization of wage determination. By standardizing the wage determination process, job evaluation promotes consistency and fairness in how wages are set across the organization. This helps in minimizing disparities in pay for similar jobs and ensure that employees are compensated fairly based on the requirements of their roles. Next, equality in payment of wages. Job evaluation ensures that employees are compensated according to the requirements of their jobs, helping to avoid bias and promote equality in payment of wages. And this can contribute to a more equitable work environment and reduce the likelihood of discrimination or inequitable treatment. Then it is again significant in cost minimization in recruitment. By accurately assessing the value of different jobs within the organization, job evaluation can help minimize the cost of recruitment. By ensuring the wages are competitive and reflective of the job's worth, organizations can attract and retain qualified candidates without overpaying or underpaying for certain positions. Hence, is a valuable tool for organizations to ensure fair and consistent compensation practices, promote positive industrial relations, and minimize recruitment costs. By considering all relevant factors and the standardization of the wage determination process, organizations can create a more equitable and transparent compensation system that benefits both employees and the organization as a whole. And now we will see the advantages of job evaluation. It offers various advantages for organizations in effectively managing their human resource and ensuring equitable compensation practices. Some of the key advantages are fairness and equity. Job evaluation provides a systematic and objective method for assessing the relative value of different jobs within the organization. This helps ensure that employees are compensated fairly based on the requirements of their roles, regardless of factors such as gender, race, or personal bias. Next important advantage can be transparency. By establishing clear criteria and process for evaluating jobs, job evaluation promotes transparency in compensation decisions. Employees can understand how their pay is determined and have that compensations compensation confidence that compensation decisions are based on objective factors rather than arbitrary or subjective judgments. Another advantage can be internal equity. Job evaluation also helps organizations establish internal equity by ensuring that similar jobs are compensated at similar levels within the organization. This helps prevent disparities in pay for employees performing comparable work and promotes a sense of fairness and consistency among staff. Another advantage can be external competitiveness. By benchmarking internal job values against external market data, the job evaluation helps organizations ensure that their compensation practices remain competitive within the industry. This can help attract and retain top talent by offering salaries and benefits that are in line with industry standards. Another advantage can be it supports performance management. Job evaluation provides a framework for linking job roles to performance expectations and career development opportunities. By clearly defining job responsibilities and expectations, organizations can align employee performance with organizational goals and objectives. Another advantage can be retention and morale. Fair and equitable compensation practices supported by job evaluation can contribute to higher levels of employee satisfaction, engagement, and retention. When employees perceive that their contributions are recognized and rewarded fairly, they are more likely to remain committed to the organization. Hence, overall, we can conclude that this again job evaluation provides organizations with a valuable framework for managing compensation in a fair, consistent, and transparent manner, ultimately supporting organizational effectiveness and employee satisfaction. Job evaluation typically involves following essential steps: identification of job elements or factors. Basically, the first step in the job evaluation is to determine the key elements or factors that contribute to the value of a job. These elements may include skills, knowledge, experience, responsibilities, decision making, authority, working conditions, and other relevant factors. The goal is to identify the core components that differentiate one job from the another and contribute to its overall value. Then, comparison of jobs. Once the key job elements or factors have been identified, they are used as criteria for comparing one job with another. Jobs are evaluated based on how they measure up against each criteria. Considering factors such as complexity, scope, and impact on organizational objectives, various methods can be such as ranking classification, point factor, or factor comparison methods may be used to facilitate this comparison. Then, determination of relative job value. After comparing jobs against the identified criteria, the relative value or worth of each job is determined. This involves assessing the overall contribution of each job to the organization and ranking or grading jobs accordingly. Jobs that require higher levels of skill, responsibility, or effort are typically assigned higher values than those with the lower requirements. Next, establishment of monetary value. Once the relative value of each job has been determined, the next step is to assign monetary value to each job. This involves establishing salary range, pay grades, or compensation levels based on the job's assessed value. Factors such as market rates, budget constraints, and internal equity considerations may influence the final determination of monetary value for each job. Job evaluation helps organizations establish internal equity and fairness in compensation and career advancement opportunities by ensuring that jobs of similar value are rewarded similarly. It provides a systematic and objective method for determining the relative worth of different jobs, thereby facilitating effective human resource management and organizational planning. Now we'll discuss the methods of job evaluation. There are several methods of job evaluation. We'll discuss one by one, each with its own approach and technique for assessing the relative value of jobs within an organization. Some common methods are: number one, job classification or checklist method. This is a traditional approach to job evaluation, commonly found in the government offices and some other organizations. In this method, the job structure is divided into several classes or grades. Typically, these are four, such as class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4. The job classification method typically works like this: a division into classes. Jobs within the organization are categorized into different classes or grades based on predetermined criteria such as nature of work, level of responsibility, skill requirements, and organizational hierarchy. Class 1 jobs are typically considered the highest ranking positions, while Class 4 jobs are at the lowest level. Criteria for classification: the classification of jobs is based on various factors, including the complexity of tasks, level of authority and decision making, education and experience requirements, and overall responsibility. Jobs are assigned to different classes based on these criteria. Next, qualifications and experience. The classification of jobs may also take into account the qualifications, experience, and skills required for each position. Class 1 position may require advanced degrees, specialized skills, and extensive experience, while the Class 4 position may have lower educational and experience requirements. Subjectivity and lack of scientific basis. Factor can be subjectivity and lack of scientific basis. One of the drawbacks of the job classification method is its subjective nature and lack of scientific rigor. The classification of jobs may be influenced by personal judgments, biases, and organizational preferences rather than objective criteria. As a result, the method may not always result in fair or accurate job evaluation. Then, limited flexibility is another area. Limited flexibility is this is another limitation of the job classification method, and it's limited flexibility in adapting to changes in the job roles, organizational needs, and market conditions. Once jobs are classified into predetermined classes or grades, it can be challenging to adjust the classes. It can be challenging to adjust the classification structure to accommodate evolving job requirements or shifting organizational priorities. Overall, the grading or classification method provides a structured framework for categorizing jobs within an organization based on their skill level and the level of responsibility. While it may not be as detailed or time consuming as other methods, it offers a systematic approach to job evaluation that can help organizations establish clear job hierarchies and ensure consistency in compensation and career progression. Next method, job ranking or grouping method. So, this is a straightforward approach to job evaluation where jobs within an organization are arranged in a specific order, either from the most complex to the simplest or vice versa. Here's an overview how this method typically works. Number one, ordering of jobs. Jobs are listed or grouped in a particular order based on a single criterion, often complexity or difficulty. The most complex or the difficult jobs is ranked first, followed by the next in order, and so on, until the simplest or the least complex job is listed last. Then, limited criteria. This method doesn't take into account multiple criteria or factors that contribute to the value of the job. Instead, it focuses on one broad quality, such as overall complexity of the task or the level of the skills required. Other factors like responsibility, decision making, or working conditions may not be considered in the ranking. Then again, it has one more drawback, that is lack of detailed differentiation. The ranking method provides a broad differentiation among the jobs based on the single criterion. It doesn't offer a nuanced understanding. It doesn't offer a micro understanding of the specific contributions or requirements of each job. As a result, jobs within the same rank may have significant differences that aren't reflected in the method. One more limitation, this limited applicability in the larger organization. In the larger organizations with diverse job roles, the job ranking method may be less practical. It might not capture the complexities of various jobs across different departments or functions, making it challenging to establish a comprehensive and accurate ranking. But it can be useful in smaller organizations. While the job ranking method may lack sophistication, it can be useful in smaller organizations with a limited number of job roles. In such cases, where the job roles are relatively simple and straightforward, the ranking method may provide a quick and uncomplicated way to differentiate between jobs. And then, subjectivity and consensus. The process of ranking jobs often involves subjective judgment and may require a consensus among evaluators. This subjectivity can introduce biases and variations in how different individuals perceive and rank jobs, potentially affecting the accuracy and reliability of the result. Then it has limited usefulness for an individual assessment. The ranking method is more suitable for assessing the overall complexity and difficulty for jobs within the group rather than providing detailed information about individual jobs. It may not be effective in capturing the specific nuances and requirements of each position. The third important method is factor comparison method. This is a job evaluation approach that assesses and assigns monetary values to different jobs based on specific factors considered essential for each job. And here's an overview how the factor comparison method typically works. Identification of number one, identification of essential factors. First, the first step in the factor comparison method involves identifying essential factors that contribute to the value of a job. These factors are selected based on their relevance to various jobs within the organization. Common factors include mental requirements, physical requirements, skill levels, responsibility, and working conditions. Next step is selection of key jobs. A few key jobs are selected as reference points for the evaluation process. These key jobs are chosen to represent a range of factors and responsibilities found across different positions in the organization. The next step is determination of factor weights. Monetary values or weights are assigned to each factor based on its importance in influencing job value. For example, mental requirement or skill levels may be given higher weights if they are deemed more critical to the job's overall contribution. Then the next step can be comparison of key jobs. The selected key jobs are compared and their remuneration rates are determined based on the assigned weights for each factor. This involves assessing how each job ranks in terms of the identified factors. Again, next step is a scaling factor for key jobs. The remuneration rates for the key jobs, along with their assigned factors, weights, serves as a scale or reference points. These scales are then used to evaluate and assign monetary values to all other jobs within the organization. Then next step is application to other jobs. All other jobs are fitted into the scales obtained for the key jobs. The remuneration for each job is determined by considering the job's characteristics in relation to the identified factors. This process ensures consistency and comparability across different roles within the organization. And next step is ongoing maintenance. The factor comparison may require periodic reviews and adjustments, especially when there are changes in the job roles, organizational structures, or external market conditions. This ongoing maintenance helps ensure that the method remains relevant and reflective of the organization's evolving needs. Then, the subjectivity and expert judgment. Like many job evaluation methods, the factor comparison method involves a degree of subjectivity and expert judgment. The individuals responsible for the evaluation must use their judgment to assign weights to factors and compare key jobs. The fourth and again important method, that is point factor method for evaluation or rating of jobs, is a systematic approach for the job evaluation, and it involves breaking down jobs into key factors and assigning points to each factor based on its importance to the job. And these are there are some of the steps involved. I'll let you know those are the steps. First step is identification of factors. The first step is to identify the factors that are relevant to evaluating job worth. Common factors include skill, effort, responsibility, and working conditions. These factors are chosen based on their significance to the organization and the nature of the jobs being evaluated. Next step is defining the factors. Each factor is carefully defined to ensure consistency and clarity in the evaluation process. For example, skill may encompass education, training, and experience required for the job, while effort may refer to the physical and mental exertion needed to perform the job task. Next step is assigning points. Points are then assigned to each factor based on its relative importance to the job. This step often involves establishing a rating scale or point system for each factor. For example, a job that requires high level of a skill may be assigned more points for the skill factor compared to the job that requires minimum skill. Then next step is job evaluation. Once the factors and points value are established, jobs are evaluated by assessing the degree to which they meet each factor's criteria. Points are assigned to each factor based on the job's requirement, and these points are totaled to calculate the job's overall value. The next step is comparison and ranking. Jobs are then compared and ranked based on their total point values, with higher points value indicating jobs of greater worth or importance within the organization. This allows for the establishment of a job hierarchy and helps inform decisions related to compensation, career progression, and organizational structure. The point factor method provides a structured and quantitative approach to job evaluation to make more objective and data driven decisions about the job classification and compensation. However, it requires careful definition of factors and criteria, as well as ongoing maintenance to ensure that the evaluation system remains accurate and relevant to the organization's need. Additionally, implementing this method can be time consuming, especially during the initial setup phase. Then, the last method for evaluating the jobs or rating the jobs is a competitive market analysis. And it involves the strategic approach that involves comparing a job's value within an organization to similar positions in the external job market. The steps of this method: number one, studying job position and duties. The purpose, the process begins by studying the job position, roles, and duties involved in the job being evaluated. This includes understanding the specific responsibilities, qualifications, and skill requirements of the job. Next step is comparison to external jobs. Next similar job is the external job market are identified and studied. This could involve reviewing job positions, this could involve reviewing job postings, salary, surveys, or other industry data to gather information about the comparable positions. Next step is researching monetary value. Once external jobs have been identified, research is conducted to determine their monetary value in terms of compensation for those positions. This could involve analyzing salary data, compensation packages, and market trends to understand the prevailing rates for similar roles. The next step is determining position value. Based on the information gathered from the external market analysis, the value of the specific position within the organization is determined. This involves assessing how the job compares to external benchmarks in terms of responsibilities, qualifications, and market demand. The next step is positioning within the job market. This method also raises the question of where the organizations this method also raises the question of where the organization positions itself within the job market. Companies may choose to offer compensation packages that are competitive with industry standards or differentiate themselves by offering unique benefits or incentives. The next step is decision making. Using the insights gained from the competitive market analysis, organizations can make informed decisions about the compensation and positioning of the job within their organization. This may involve adjusting salary levels, offering additional benefits, or revising job responsibilities to align with market trends and organizational goals. By utilizing the competitive market analysis method, companies or organizations can ensure that their compensation practices are competitive and aligned with industry standards. This approach helps organizations attract and retain top talent while also positioning themselves effectively within the job market.